Welcome to QB&K's Dog Pack. Today we have placed a carrot just to see how our pack reacts to resources. Our girl Ali was the first one to get to it. Meanwhile, from a faraway camera, our girl Chanel was actually able to discover it. You're probably asking yourself, why would we drop off a carrot on one of the mounds? We do this on purpose so that pack dynamic can be revealed to us. Even though a carrot doesn't mean much to you or I, it can mean a lot to this pack, as you will soon see. And wouldn't you know it, none other than Lil Bo is the one that currently has the carrot. Which is interesting because Athena is quite a stick thief herself, and she's actually standing by to see when she can get a chance to get that carrot. Lil Bo soon commands the attention of 305, the alpha male, and Kadabra, the alpha female. That could only mean one thing. He's not keeping the carrot, and he knows it. So he bites a piece off and lets it go. Athena ends up with possession of the carrot. 305 gives up very easily. It's very uncharacteristic for an alpha male to do that. I kind of feel like he hasn't grown into that position just yet. Alphas demand the biggest and best piece. They just don't settle for scraps left over by a puppy like 305 just did. That sound can only mean one thing, and that's that Kadabra is in alpha mode. She wants that carrot and she knows it's near her somewhere. However, Athena is hiding intelligently right behind the mound in an angle where she can't be seen. Kadabra knows that carrot is somewhere around her, but she just can't make out exactly where it's at. So she just walks away. One thing I have observed is that pups actually find adult males to be their specific role model. For example, Little Bo. He loves hanging around 305. But I gotta be honest with you, I think Little Bo is more of an alpha than 305 actually is. But here we can see little Ali following Athena and hanging around her. She actually took her stick. Now take a look at Little Bo. I feel like his alpha personality sometimes just gets him in trouble. He always feels like he has to be enforcing something. I feel like every interaction gives you insight. Like in this case, Macho is showing not to be an alpha. After getting Lil Bo off of him, he did absolutely nothing to dominate him. Our girl Mocha decides to walk over and make sure everything is okay. And here we have Daisy Duke. I call her Spookaboo. She definitely doesn't like cameras. Ali decides to go ahead and be independent and be far away from the pack. While they're over here eating sticks, Kadabra, the alpha female, actually caught up to her. And of course, Little Bo was there, pushing away his rival, so he could go ahead and kiss up to the alpha female, because that's exactly what he's doing. Now notice, I repeated the nudge so you could see that Kadabra clearly doesn't like being licked or bit at her lips. Now, an adult dog would pick this up, however, Daisy Duke didn't pick up on it, so check this out. As Daisy Duke just learned. Now let's go ahead and reverse this and play it forward so you can see exactly what Kadabra did. All right, let me stop the music right here. Just take a look at Kadabra's demeanor. Daisy Duke doesn't pick up on this. It could be that she's not tall enough to be able to see her face, and that's why she didn't pick up on it. Once Kadabra had enough, She showed her teeth, but she never bit her. This is a clear way of just scolding the pup. Daisy Duke immediately apologizes by licking her lips. Kadabra lets her go, but immediately looks at her tail with the corner of her eye. Had Daisy Duke's tail been in any other position but down, there would have been a problem. And this is what I'm talking about. Adults pick up on things. If you notice, Athena's head is shifted away from Kadabra as she knows that Daisy Duke crossed the line and that this could have escalated. However, it doesn't escalate, and Kadabra lets her off with a strong warning, giving her the death stare. Once I called in all the dogs for the day, Ollie decided not to budge, and she wanted to actually stay out here by herself. So I gave her the opportunity just to see what it is that she does. At first, she looked very comfortable. She was having all the sticks for herself. She was even roaming. I got the feeling right about now, she was starting to get a little spooked every now and then. It was in this moment that she realized she's not the only one out here. I think she also realizes she doesn't have the pack to have her back. It was at this moment she decided to head back to the kennel area. Some pups are not as independent and rely more on the pack for safety and everything else. This is why we do these exercises, so we could get an idea of our pups' personalities. Daisy Duke was alone about 1 whole minute before she decided to run back to the kennel area. Here we can see Macho overcoming his fear of the tunnel as he makes it all the way through. These milestones, as small as they may seem, may actually set him up to become pack alpha in the future, as 305 still doesn't go through tunnels. Talking about future alphas, Little Bo roams around like he's got a chip on his shoulders. He thinks all sticks belong to him. Except Mocha decided he wasn't going to do this week what he did to her last week. Another reason I think Little Bo is going to be an alpha is because he's the only pup that actually goes to high ground in order to keep an eye on the entire pack and see what's going on. And lo and behold, his strategy actually worked, as 305 actually has a stick in his mouth and Little Bo pursues. .305 allows many things that other alphas would have never allowed, like a pup getting close to his resource. But then again, he's as much a puppy when it comes to being an alpha, as he was just thrust into the position after being a beta for so many years. I hope 305 hardens up fast. He has about 1.5 years before other males come after his crown. I don't want you to get the impression that alphas must always be mean. In fact, they're just playing a role. Here you have a good example of puppies learning from one another. Now we all know Little Bo goes to high ground in order to see everything. Little Ali, his main rival, has actually been copying a lot of the things he's been doing. After coming down from the mound, Little Bo decided that Ali had a stick and it belonged to him. They tussled for a little bit until Ali decided, you know what, I gotta move for you. And she ran over to another mound. After causing a ruckus, half the pack showed up and Ali came out victorious. Little Bo didn't take Ali's laws too much to heart, as his main role model, 305, was actually chewing sticks, and he was able to be there with him. Seems like Lil Bo and Ali's paths were meant to cross. Who knows if they will be bred to each other in the future. Did I tell you that Daisy Duke doesn't like cameras? When I don't have a camera in hand, she loves for me to pet on her. She's all over me. But as soon as I put a camera near her, this is what happens every time. Every now and then, whenever you're not expecting it, the bully gods give you a preview of what you could actually be having in your hands. Just pay attention. Just as fast, it's gone. Pay close attention to this sequence. Lil Bo just took a high value stick away from Mama Aruba. Now, Mama Aruba is well regarded in this pack, but she is an Omega, meaning she's not going to fight for a stick or anything like that. Which means, in the eyes of the pack, someone that shouldn't be having a high value stick actually has it. As Kadabra looks to go to high ground, Little Bo makes a crucial mistake. He decides to parade the stick around. Now, if you notice, as I pan the camera back to the pack, it seems like nobody even noticed. Not even Chanel, who were looking at her thinking that she may or may not have taken. We're still not going to know until about another 2 to 3 weeks. Meanwhile, 305 did take notice, and he's headed straight at Lil Bo. I've been wanting to see 305 as the pack alpha put Lil Bo in his place. But instead, his behavior makes me wonder, what is it about Lil Bo that he doesn't want to confront? Moments later, 305 was around Little Bo. I didn't have much hope to see what I wanted to see from him. It was actually hard to bear. 305 looked like a grown man being played by a child. And just when I thought he didn't have it in him, he gave me what I wanted to see. 305 had finally used his physical advantage against Lil Bo. Lil Bo and Ali are pursuing the stick. This is mostly because 305 has not learned the art of the growl, which Kadabra has down pat. So 305 does what a beta would do. He ran rather than stand his ground. And Little Bo decided to actually go on the hunt. Without anybody telling him, he immediately went up to high ground so he could get a better view. 305 now has a bigger problem. Because he ran, Athena does not see him as an alpha, and therefore she is now part of the pursuit. If you notice, Kadabra is seeing everything, but she just stays at a close distance. She doesn't necessarily chase. After 15 minutes of chase and tussle, Kadabra stays within distance, but she doesn't meddle in what's actually happening. I wonder if she's thinking what I'm thinking. This is 305's fight, and he's going to have to come out victorious all by himself. As the tussle dragged on, something curious happened, and that's Little Bo was actually trying to hump on Athena. Some people may see this as something sexual, but Little Bo is actually not mature sexually yet. Therefore, the only thing I could think of is humping is another way of showing domination. He understands that this is a dominant position that these two dogs are in, and he's trying to show his dominance, something that 305 has not figured out yet. The one thing I've learned out of this entire tussle is that 305 is truly not an alpha yet. Little Bo is actually showing more alpha traits at this time. And just like that, Athena just took the stick. 305 seems to continually ask for the stick. He doesn't demand it, and she continues to toy with him. This is how an alpha immediately puts pups in their place. Hey! I immediately warned Kadabra as Little Bo had crossed right in front of her. That's a big no-no. This beautiful girl is Chanel. I bred her, and she's actually Congo's sister. She had left my yard for about 1.5 years, but now she's back. So what ended up between 305 and Athena? Well, 305 actually settled for a different piece of stick, and Athena actually kept the original stick she had. Lil Macho seems to be pretty confused as he looks up to 305. He doesn't understand how Athena's the one with the main stick and not 305. He actually is able to go over there and bite a piece off.
Ready? You ready to go home?
Say whatever you want to say, bud.
Here at the queue, man. Loving it. You already know, little Bo Jingle's ready to go home. Look at that. He don't want to leave. But he coming. He coming. Catching y'all from the queue. Catching y'all the next time. We're going
on the next one.
On the next one.
You got it.